Yo, what is up everybody? It is your boy JCM back today with another Fortnite Chapter 3 video. And as you saw in the title guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the best Chapter 3 settings for Fortnite. In today's video, we're going to be talking about new additions to the game such as sliding. We're going to be looking at how you can control the amount of time it takes to slide after you press the key. We're also going to be looking at the new builds in performance mode. And I'm also going to be talking to you about the benefits towards your performance in-game by using performance mode, and just going over some basic things that I think you should probably consider doing if you want your game to run super smooth at the highest frames possible. Now, small disclaimer, I'm going to go ahead and let you know if you are on console, I'm not entirely sure how some of this will apply to you. I'm not even sure if console has performance mode, but if it does, then you should definitely follow along with this tutorial. And one last thing before we get into it guys, I would like to ask you to please drop a like on the video. It helps me out way more than you would know. It only takes 1 second, so thank you if you decide to do that. And let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the stuff that you came to the video for. We're in creative just for the ease of me showing you guys my settings and not having to worry about dying. So if we go ahead, go into my settings over here. First thing we're going to talk about is sliding, the newest addition in Chapter 3, and something that I feel like you're going to need to practice if you want to stay ahead of the meta. So even if you're not on controller, you want to click right here on controller options, and right here under input, you will see slide hold time. I might even zoom in for you right here so you can see it. So as you can see, I have mine set to 0.125. I'm actually going to change this down to 0.1. What this is going to do for you is it's going to make it to where as soon as you click your bind, that is crouch, 0.1 seconds after you crouch, it's going to make you slide if you're still holding it for that long. So now that I have the time it takes to slide after holding the key, let's check it out. Let's see how quick it is. Yeah, this is pretty quick, guys. As long as you're sprinting, as soon as you hit your crouch bind, you're going to slide. But this is a good thing because you can actually slide during your fights now, which I haven't really mastered just yet, but as you can see, it's pretty cool. So now that we have sliding out of the way, let's talk about FPS. One thing a lot of people really worry about is making sure they have a good FPS. So one thing that you need to note about FPS is if your monitor is a 60 Hertz monitor, so you might want to do a little bit of research, you will not be able to see above 60 FPS if you have a 60 Hertz monitor. But if you have a 144 Hertz monitor or a 240 Hertz monitor, then you can pretty much see up to those frames. A 240 Hertz monitor will allow you to see up to 240 FPS. Now that really only applies to PC players, as the new gen consoles can go up to 120 FPS. But if you have a 144 Hertz monitor, then you should have no problems on console reaching your maximum FPS. All you have to do is go into your settings, which you probably know this already, but just in case you don't, you can go right here to frame rate limit and set your frame rate to whatever you want it to be. On console, probably have it about right here at 120, but on PC you can go up to as high as the hertz on your monitor allows you. I cap mine at 200 for one reason. The reason I cap mine at 200 is because it is better to have a constant frame rate than a higher frame rate that is fluctuating up and down. You want your gameplay experience to be smooth, and as long as you can get to 200 frames, it's going to be buttery smooth, but you want it to stay at that number the entire time you're playing. If it's going between 240, 200, 180, back and forth, your game is going to feel slightly choppy here and there because it's not at a constant frame rate. Now, obviously, this is going to be some testing that you're going to need to do on your own for your computer, just to see what your computer can handle. Which, if you don't know how to do that, you might want to research what kind of CPU you have and what kind of GPU you have. For me, my PC can handle up to 240 FPS, but I cap it at 240 because I know it won't fluctuate, and my performance is perfect. Now let's talk about ping. This is one thing a lot of people suffer with, and I'm gonna have to break some bad news to you. If you live far from a server on Fortnite, then your ping is likely going to be capped at a certain amount. For me, I live kind of far from the nearest server. Best I can get in creative is like, I've seen 30, but I'm at 40 right now. And in public matches, I get anywhere between 50 and 60. That's only because it has to do with where I live in the United States. And it's also based on the type of internet that I have. In my area, we don't have the most luxurious internet. It's really good internet, don't get me wrong, but your area may have better internet than mine does. So if you can afford fiber internet and it is available in your area, you should definitely get that. Also, make sure you are playing on a wired connection. That means plugging in an Ethernet cord from your console or your PC into your Wi-Fi router. This is going to secure the most stable connection possible. If you are in wireless, you will have ping issues most likely. And if you want even better FPS, guys, you can try to do stretched res. There are many tutorials on YouTube about how to do stretched stretched res. You can still do some stretched reses with certain applications on computers, and it will allow you to have better FPS, but that'll be a topic for another video on a different day. So now let's talk about performance mode. Now this is something that is extremely important. So what is performance mode, you may ask? Well, when you download Fortnite, you are in the default DirectX 11 mode. You want to come down in your video settings and you want to go to rendering mode. As you can see, I am on performance beta. When you download Fortnite, you'll probably be on DirectX 11 over here. But with Fortnite Chapter 3, as you can see with me building, they kind of brought back bubble wrap builds in a certain way. It's not the exact same, but it looks really smooth. And a lot of people are wondering, how do you get this? So you have to be on performance mode to get these builds. So what you have to do is you go to your settings up here. You go back down to that rendering mode. Make sure you're on performance beta. If you were not on performance beta before, then you will have to set it to performance and then restart your game. Once you get back into your game, this is super important. This is a step you cannot miss. You want to make sure your meshes are on high. Now this is a little bit more demanding than low, but if you put it on low, you will get mobile builds and your graphics will not look that great. Don't get me wrong, if you put your graphics on low and you get the mobile builds, that is actually where the best performance is, and that's why a lot of people like to use the mobile builds, because it will guarantee them a good FPS that will not, go up and down a lot. So if you are really just super dead set on making sure your FPS is at its peak performance, then put your meshes on low 100%. The reason I like to use the high meshes on performance mode is so that we can get these crispy builds just like this. I think they look really nice. Another benefit of using high meshes on performance mode is being able to see through builds better. As you can see, these builds are clear, as well as steel is very clear. Once it's fully built, it'll be a lot harder to see through. So you do get a bit of an advantage using this mode, guys. So not only do the builds look better, but as you can see, my FPS has not changed down from 200 one bit. So you're going to be getting a constant FPS that is not fluctuating. Your game is going to feel buttery smooth, and you're going to thank me. So there it is, everybody. I really do hope that this video helped you out a ton. Hopefully now when you use these settings in Fortnite, you get a performance boost. I hope this was able to actually make a change in your performance. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions. I am always available to answer your questions. Also, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I post Fortnite content at least every other day. I try to shoot for daily, and I really do think you guys would be interested in the Fortnite content that I post. I hope you all have had a fantastic day or night, and I hope you continue to as well. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Been your boy JCM. Peace out.